Oh boy, if you're thinking about buying growth stocks in 2022, this episode is for you. 2021 has been an absolutely crazy year for investing in innovation. We've had our highs, our lows, our lower lows, and the kind of lows where the only way to look at your portfolio is while drinking wine in the bathtub and softly crying. Oh, that's just me? Actually, my guess is that no one has had a crazier year than Cathie would. Depending on when you looked at ARKK, Ark Invest's flagship innovation fund, it was either up 30% from its lows or down 30% from its highs. And Ark Invest's combined funds had anywhere between $30 and $60 billion in assets under management. What a big swing. Ark Invest peaked in the middle of February, and their low is actually right now. Yeah, I'll be in my tub. All jokes aside, that actually presents us with a huge opportunity. The big thing you need to know is that when all innovation stocks go on sale, Ark Invest concentrates their funds down to their highest conviction positions.
What we've been doing for the last 6 months is expanding the number of names in our portfolio. And we do that as a bull market extends because in some ways it's a tax efficient strategy. What we will do during a correction, especially a severe correction, we will sell names in which are creating losses now because, again, we've bought them, we've diversified and bought them more recently. Sell those names, creating losses, to buy our highest conviction names. Some of the names we've been moving into, you'll notice, some of the bigger biotech names. And what we will do and we think of them as cash-like. So we're using them as cash-like instruments in some way because we will move back into our pure play names if we get into a severe correction. So we use corrections toggling back and forth. And so right now, our flagship portfolio has roughly 52 names in it. At the low point in the coronavirus last year, it was as low as 33, I believe.
The peak for ARKK was on February 12th, and the new low for the year was on December 16th, so very recently. That 41% drop between these two dates is actually bigger than their drop in early 2020, when the pandemic crashed the entire market. That means if we look at how Ark Invest's positions have changed between these two dates, we'll be looking at what Cathie Wood bought and sold as she concentrated her funds down during the biggest dip in Ark Invest's history. So that's what we're going to do, and as a result, we're going to have a list of Ark Invest's latest increases in conviction going into 2022. Pretty cool, right? Your time is valuable, so let's get right into it. Here's a table of Ark Invest's top 50 positions when you combine their 6 actively managed funds. Remember, we can only do this because all 6 funds are conviction weighted and managed by the same person, Cathie Wood. Before you start taking notes or screenshots, you can find a link to this table in the description below. I'm just trying to make things easier for you. Each row is one company. The rows are sorted by the size of Ark Invest's total position in that company when they bottomed on December 16th, and each row is colored by how much that position has changed since Ark's peak back on February 12th. How come you're seeing so much green if I just told you their funds are way down from their peak? Because each row is colored relative to how much Ark Invest's funds shrank overall, which is 47% from peak to bottom. So if a position shrank by less than 47%, it's in green. If it shrank by around the same amount, it's in white. And if the position shrank by even more than 47%, it's in red. That's how we can easily spot relative shrinkage. Also, remember that Cathie Wood has a couple different ways to grow or shrink her positions. She can buy or sell shares in a given company, so the first column shows the percent change in shares that she held. Since share prices don't stay the same, the third column shows the percent change in share price between our two dates. Let me go through a few quick examples, and then we can rip through the rest of the data. On December 16th, Cathie Wood had 57% fewer shares of Tesla than she did on February 12th, while Tesla's share price only increased by 14%. As a result, Cathie Wood's total position in Tesla stock got cut in half. That sounds scary, but Tesla has been Ark Invest's highest ranking position all year, so rank 1. And that rank hasn't changed. She sold half her Tesla stock because that's roughly how much her funds have shrank by. That's why Tesla's row is basically white instead of deep red. In my opinion, Ark Invest hasn't lost any conviction in Tesla. It's still their biggest position overall. They just gained more conviction elsewhere as other stocks fell relative to Tesla. That's why other rows are more green. Every stock on this list is in Ark Invest's top 50 holdings overall, so don't think that Ark Invest doesn't like a company simply because they sold some shares or didn't buy the dip. That's what happened with Pacific Biosciences. Its share price was down over 60%, but Cathie Wood only bought 3% more shares, so her actual dollar position in PacBio is 60% smaller as a result. Since it shrank by a little more than the 47% her overall funds shrank, the row is only slightly red. When you see empty sells for some stocks, it's because Ark Invest didn't hold them when they peaked in mid-February. This is usually because the company wasn't public yet, or they still needed to merge with their SPAC company, or because they changed their name or ticker symbol, or something along those lines. Now that you know how to really read the data, let me point out which stocks to watch. The biggest increase in relative conviction goes to Palantir by a mile. Palantir's price has fallen over 40% since February 12th, but Cathie Wood has increased her shares by over 1,200% overall. So while their funds concentrated down for almost a year from peak to bottom, Ark Invest put almost 700% more money into Palantir stock. Palantir became Ark Invest's 17th biggest position overall, up over 100 ranks from where it was on the list back in February. It's also one of only 2 stocks to be in all 6 of Ark Invest's funds. That's why I've been putting out so much more Palantir content this year. I won't spend your valuable time rehashing my points on Palantir right now, but if you're interested in learning all about this unique artificial intelligence and data analytics company and all of the high-tech markets that they operate in, I've put all of my Palantir content in one convenient playlist for you. I'll leave that in the top right-hand corner of your screen right now, and in the description below as well. Don't sleep on this stock. And if you're interested in learning even more about Palantir's operations and investments on the commercial side, I've also put out a few articles on Palantir on public.com, an investing social network that I feel really brings together the best of both worlds. On the investing side, public.com is free to use with no account minimum to get started, doesn't charge fees for standard trades, and allows you to buy slices of stocks for as little as $1. I'm just as excited about Public's community, where I've been able to exchange investment ideas with thousands of other like-minded, long-term focused investors, including my articles on Palantir's investments and their Foundry for Builders program. So if you want to check out even more of my Palantir content, or you just want to know when I buy this stock myself, consider joining the thousands of people that already follow me on public.com. And whether you're looking for a new home for your own portfolio or you just want to support the channel, you can go to public.com/ticker-symbol-U and you'll receive a free slice of stock worth up to $70 when you fund your account. That's a win-win if I've ever heard one. I'll leave a link to that exclusive offer for you in the description below, along with my other articles on Palantir. After Palantir, Ark Invest's next biggest upward movers over the year have been DraftKings, Twitter, and Skills, 3 companies that sit in ARKK as well as ARKW, Ark Invest's fund themed around the next generation of internet applications. Ark Invest's position in each of these stocks has 3x or more as their prices have dropped by anywhere from 40 to 80%. Seriously, it might be time for me to do another deep dive on Skills stock since its price has fallen to near all-time lows. As that happened, Ark Invest has picked up almost 1,500% more shares in Skills, so it's definitely high on my watch list again. It's no surprise to see these stocks move up the most in terms of relative conviction, as they're the exact kind of stocks that Cathie Wood constantly says are being very misunderstood in general and constantly being mistaken for stay-at-home stocks specifically.
We're not going back, and therefore we think that you should start thinking about these stocks not as stay-at-home stocks, but stay connected stocks, stay competitive stocks, stay globally competitive stocks, because that's what we do. We're focused on the way the world's going to work and really transformational growth. And for any corporations who are listening to that or other businesses, you need to embrace these new technologies because they're going to be transformational. And if you don't embrace them, you're not going to win. In fact, you may not be around.
Regardless of their short-term performance, you can always count on Ark Invest to put their money where their mouth is. And that's how I'm going through this data. I'm looking for the highest ranking stocks with the biggest price drops where Cathie Wood actually bought shares as her funds shrank by nearly 50% over the year. That's what I think is the best way to find the stocks that she concentrated her funds down into. So with all that context, let me highlight all of the top Ark Invest holdings that I think are worth adding to your watch list in 2022. Teladoc, Zoom Video, UiPath, Exact Sciences, Twitter, Palantir, Fate Therapeutics, DraftKings, Robinhood, Too Simple, Signify Health, Skills, Adaptive Biotechnologies, and Berkeley Lights. This is a long list because not everyone will be interested in all of these stocks, and that's fine, but all of these stocks are at least 40% down from their recent highs. All of them are currently top 50 holdings in Ark Invest, and all of them except Adaptive Biotechnologies are currently in ARKK, which is where Ark Invest puts all of their highest conviction stocks from across all of the innovation themes that they research. And if you don't like the way I filtered this list down, the full list of Ark Invest's top 50 stocks and how they changed from peak to bottom can be found in the description below. Let me know if you want me to make a separate episode where I cover their biggest trades for the fourth quarter of this year, or even the entire calendar year. I just thought that this would add more value since it's specifically comparing Ark's top and bottom for the year, and I wanted to get that information out while the bottom is still fairly recent. Speaking of which, comment below or tweet me at tickersymbol with your thoughts on this list. Have you been eyeing any of these stocks for yourself as their prices corrected 40% or more? Are there any that you want me to do a deep dive on early next year? Do you use Ark Invest's trading data in a completely different way? I'm excited to hear your thoughts. As for me, Teladoc, Zoom, UiPath, and Palantir are all currently in my $100,000 portfolio that I host on public.com to try to outperform ARKK. We all know how that's been going so far. All kidding aside, the more growth stocks continue to fall, the more important it is to keep your watch list up to date and be in a position to take advantage of great deals. So if this episode helped you find a few stocks to add to your own watch list or gave you some ideas on how to use Ark Invest's trading data for yourself, consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel with all notifications turned on. That way you'll be the first to know when I come out with new lists of stocks, deep dives, and market commentary, regardless of how YouTube tunes its algorithm. I'll see you in 2022, and until next time, stay long, stay strong, and thanks for watching. This is Ticker Symbol U. My name is Alex, reminding you that the best investment you can make is in you.